All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, man. Hope you guys are all ready for Super Bowl Sunday. By the time a lot of you guys watch this video, I bet it's over, so I hope it was awesome. I'm kind of excited to see some cool commercials as well. I want to talk about Joel Embiid today because I saw this tweet. This is from the NBA Central, and Joel Embiid over his last 12 games, 35.4 points per game, 12.8 rebounds, 5.1 assists, 1.2 blocks while shooting 51% from the field. That is domination. That is domination. Joel Embiid, the way he's been playing basketball, really, all season, obviously averaging basically 30 points per game. It's crazy. 30 point per game scorer. People forget Joel Embiid's like 26 point per game scorer on his career. This guy is dominant. With Joel, it's always been, can he stay healthy? Can he stay healthy? And I know a lot of Sixers fans, a lot of NBA fans in general, go back, they look at that roster with the big three with Jimmy Butler, and you're like, how did that team not win a championship? Well, Kawhi Leonard, I guess, is the answer. Now, the math doesn't line up on this in the last 12 games, so I think this is the last 14 games, but Joel, 50-point game, 5 40-point games, and 8 30-point games. He dropped a dominant triple-double last night. 50-point triple-double. And, Joel Embiid, God, dude, now that he has Harden, they have it all, dude. Like, they literally have it all. I wasn't too afraid of Philadelphia before the trade deadline because I'm like, all right, well, if they don't have Ben Simmons, yeah, Tyrese Maxey's one hell of a basketball player, but, is he at that level yet, to win a championship, to take your team to win a championship, and they go out, they make a nice trade getting James Harden. I think it's perfect. I think it's genuinely perfect. Philadelphia is 100% going to make some noise in the postseason. You have a pretty dominant starting five lineup of Tyrese Maxey, James Harden, however they decide to split the ball handling between those two players. You have Matisse Thybulle at the 3. You have Tobias Harris at the 4, who, I'm hard on Tobias, but it's always because he's like the third option on a team. I don't view Tobias as a third option. I really don't. I know he has games where he can go off, but I think Tobias honestly is more suited for like a fourth man option, third/fourth man option, and now kind of has that role with Tyrese Maxey just having such a breakout season and bringing on James Harden. So, Philadelphia, they have all the pieces. Now, I still want them to make some type of move in the buyout market, but if you have Joel Embiid playing like this, that dude, 35 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 blocks, it doesn't get much better than that. It really doesn't get much better than that. He's making his case for MVP. Now, unfortunately, Philadelphia is the 5th seed right now, but I would imagine once James Harden starts to play for him, they're going to start stringing together some wins. I believe they're on a 2-game win streak right now. They've won 7 out of their last 10. No team's really going to want to play him. No team's really going to want to play him. They got offense. They have defense. They have some really good defenders. Matisse Thybulle, dude, that man is already a lockdown defender. Joel Embiid, defensive stud. Can they stay healthy? Can he stay healthy? That's really what it boils down to, is it seems to be just the major kind of thorn in the side for Philadelphia 76ers the last couple of seasons. 5th seed, you got the Bulls. I like the Bulls a lot. Obviously, if you guys don't know, I live here in Chicago. I'm a huge Bulls fan, but personally, I don't think we really have the size to guard a guy like Joel Embiid in a 7-game series, especially with, apparently there's a lot of growing concern about Zach LaVine's left knee. That's not good. But I think, the last time the Bulls played the 76ers, they had actually as good as a loss can really be. It was just last week. They kind of limited Joel Embiid, a little bit. They did their best, but I'm thinking in a 7-game series, Joel would absolutely just kill him. I think he would absolutely kill him. The Heat, the Heat definitely have a really, really well-rounded roster. They're a tough matchup for any team in the NBA, let alone the Sixers. Bam Adebayo, solid, but Bam Adebayo or Joel Embiid, I'm taking Joel Embiid. The Bucks are interesting because you got Giannis, and Giannis can guard anything and anybody at any point, but you have James Harden there now. So the Bucks, I just don't think they're as scary as they used to be. in regard to comparing them against the 76ers, because, Tyrese Maxey, like, I love Tyrese, I love Tobias, but that big three of those two and Joel Embiid, no one's really, like, fearing. You know what I'm saying? No one's really fearing them. You also have some nice bench pieces. I mean, I know Danny Green's getting up there in age, but I like Danny Green. He's, every team needs a consistent three-point sharpshooter. Every single championship team, you go back, you look at it, most of these teams, maybe the Bucks are like kind of an outlier, but most teams always, or at least dynasties of teams, always have like a lethal three-point. Think like Ray Allen. What would the Miami Heat have done if Ray Allen wasn't on that roster? If Ray Allen didn't make that Game 6 game-winning shot or game-tying shot to take it into overtime. So Philadelphia right now, I like the way they're matching up. I really like the way they're matching up. Now, we'll see with James Harden and Joel Embiid. I would imagine it's going to go unbelievably. Both of those two players in the pick-and-roll game are dominant. They're absolutely lethal, and you put them on the same basketball team, and I would imagine it's going to be really tough to stop them. And especially with James Harden, and I hate, this is like my biggest critique with James Harden. I mean, he kind of just seems like he gives up on teams. I would imagine James comes to Philadelphia really, I mean, I know it's where he wants to be. Obviously, he wanted to get traded there, but this is where he wants to be. So I think just chemistry-wise, I don't see any issues James Harden's bringing. Joel Embiid, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him. Ben Simmons, seemed like Ben Simmons was absolutely miserable in Philadelphia, for whatever the reasons may be. This is a trade that really everybody wins. Everybody wins in this trade. And it's going to be tough to stop him. It's going to be tough to stop him, let alone Joel Embiid dropping 35, 13, and 5, and that's unbelievable. So that's really it for today. If you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as always, and let me know down below, how far is this Philadelphia 76er team going to get? Where are they going to finish? So that's it for today. Hit the like button, hit that sub button. I'll see you guys later.